Awesome.
Nice. Awesome. Yep. Just have some fun with us tonight, right? No matter what you're making.
And I'm going to flip my cam here. So there we go.
Okay, guys, so what we're going to do first is we're going to show you how to color some of your charms if you get the Kiss Me I'm Irish kit. And there are Amber, she's going to do the pot of gold and the rainbow, which will be absolutely adorable. And then I'm going to, of course, do the beer and the shamrock.
Clover. Shamrock, that's what it is.
Clover, shamrock, whatever. And then I'm going to color my button as well because we're going to show you a bracelet also. Both of us have a bracelet to show you. So it's going to be really fun here. Look at those charms. They're so adorable. I can't stand it. And that button, come on.
Oh,
so pretty.
I know, Melanie. I love them too.
Yes. So I'm going to use some alcohol inks tonight, guys. But as we've gone over in the past in some of the lives, you can use whatever you have. You can use colored pencils. You can use patina paints. You can use whatever works for you. Watercolors. Amber's using the Tombow markers, and I'm just using alcohol inks. So whatever you like, you use. Or if you just want to leave them in the wood tone, they're also really cool. So basically, I'll give you a little heads up. If you do decide to use the alcohol markers, guys, you got to be careful because they spread quickly. So whenever you're filling them in, just kind of go slow and see where it's traveling to. I'm going to go in just a little bit more here so you can see better. But that's the only caveat with this. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of yellow to make our beer on the top.
I'm coloring in my pot of gold.
Yes. Yeah, I really like, and the differences, say for instance, with different, I don't know, for lack of a better word with my brain, coloring instruments. Say for instance, the alcohol markers are a little more vivid. Mm-hmm. The colored pencils would be a little more, like pastel-y or more of a laid-back palette. The patina paints also, they are very vivid if you use those. I mean, you can water them down to make them less so. If you're into that, you can certainly do that. But I know Amber's markers, yours are pretty bright as well, aren't they, Amber?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
So
you just play around, play around.
Go ahead.
No.
I was going to say, I like these Tombos because they have the two different ends. So since these charms are so tiny, it's nice to use this end is harder and tiny, whereas this end is more like a paintbrush.
Yeah, absolutely. The paintbrush is nice, and that's how this one is too. It has the wider and the thinner, but the wider brushes are nice, like for bigger projects. I used the wider brushes when I was coloring in my looms. So So I'm just taking a little bit of this brown color to make the mug, for lack of a better color here. But I'm just going to get that colored in, and then we'll move on to our shamrock and our button. Let us know what you guys use for coloring in your wood pieces. Be curious to hear. Okay.
That's fun, Sandy. You only have to take it off the loom for the bracelet you're making.
So there's a little cup of beer.
Oh, that looks adorable.
It's simple, 2 colors. So yeah, nice. I'm liking it. And then, of course, I'm going to use the green for my shamrock. How's it going over there, Amber?
I finished up my pot of gold.
So. Okay. That's so cute.
Look, my finger's got a rainbow. There's a pot of gold.
All right. Yeah, it goes great with it.
Working on my rainbow now.
And in the center of this, guys, it's a little bit rougher of a wood in there, just to give it that nice color. You can certainly color on that. If you just want to do the edges, you certainly can do that. But you can see it is taking the color for me just fine.
To answer your question, Bonnie, these are the brush pens from Tombow, is the ones I'm using. They're dual tips. Yes, you can also fill in with resin. Okay. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could. That'd be fun.
That takes a little longer.
Mm-hmm. A little longer than coloring, but you know, still super fun. There's a lot you can do with all of the wood charms and pieces that Jules creates. But what else? Oh, I was going to show you what I'm using here, guys. These are alcohol inks, but this is the name brand of them that I'm using. This is just off of Amazon because I'm the Amazon queen. But couldn't they give you this little thing that you can color?
Oh, nice.
In so you have a sample of what you're going to use, you know.
That's really cool.
Absolutely. So,
hey, Carmen. Hi, Yvonne. I'm so glad you guys could join us.
Yes, absolutely. I wanted to play some Irish music, but you know, Facebook will take us down. So,
true.
And so would YouTube, as a matter of fact.
So TikTok's play your own Irish music in your homes, and
there you go. You can get in the spirit anyway. So there. Let's get that middle there, and we'll be set. I'm going to use this in here, I think.
And what Facebook allows, YouTube wouldn't. So, you know.
Absolutely. It's just... I think TikTok's the only one you can play music on. I don't know if you can do it on Instagram or
not. Kelly, I'm not sure what you mean that Jewel Loom will thrive with resin work, like adding it to the buttons. Is that what you mean? Yes, Debbie, I do love the Tombow markers.
UV, not thrive, she said. So it will UV resin work. Yes, UV resin would work. That's what I use on my stuff is the UV. Okay. Yeah, she corrected that down there, honey.
Oh, I missed that.
You didn't see it yet. Just popped up. So yeah. Yep, the UV will work.
Someone's asking what the message Jules just sent was. Let's see. Oh, it's just reminding you of our show.
Yep.
That's all. So no worries, Rose. You're good.
Good.
You're already here.
So there's my little guys, and then I'm just going to touch a little bit of color on my button just for fun.
And I don't know if Joan... Oh, yep, she did put the rafflecopter... anyways, this right here. Rafflecopter. For our giveaway tonight, make sure you like and subscribe over at YouTube and fill in the rafflecopter. If you go through the rafflecopter, it'll take you right to YouTube.
Yeah.
You should clarify that. But
Amber's so smart with that technical stuff. I'm glad one of us is.
I'll leave that up for a couple minutes here.
Kiss me, I'm Irish. Well, this is kind of a fib on my part because I'm actually Scottish, but
I am Irish, but I married into Scottish. So
well, there you're covered.
Yeah.
Either way, you're good, right?
Exactly. My grandmother would be proud. She was very Irish.
Oh, yes, she would. Oh, nice. Yeah, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about, guys. Like in this middle section, it kind of will fill in, grows a little bit when you put the So just go slow with the alcohol markers.
That might be harder on the rainbow because the lines are so close.
Yes. Yeah.
So you might want to find something. The Tombows bleed very, very little.
Okay.
They do bleed slightly if you bump it or something, but as long as you stay within the cut lines,
that's so cute.
It does pretty well.
Okay, there you go. So I'm ready to get started. I'm making a pair of earrings. I'm going to show you guys this beautiful check glass, and I can move this up now because I am done coloring, and I'm famous for getting stuff on my bead mat. So there we go.
Here I am coloring on mine.
But look at this check glass mix, guys. Oh my gosh, that is in the shop, and I'm in love. Anything check glass, fire polish, whatever, fantastic to me. So I'm going to take this button and set it back by my bracelet. And so what I'm going to do here, move this up just a smidge, guys, so we can see. I have just some Beadalon German style wire and a 20 gauge. Now this is something outside the box here. from looming today. We're just going to have some fun making some earrings. So, and I'm just going to take that wire and I'm just going to straighten it out with my fingers. You can also use a wire straightener if you have, you know, one of those pliers that you can use. I have those, but my fingers work on a lot of projects. So, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to start out by making a wrapped loop on the bottom so that I can put my hook in my second piece to it when I'm ready. And then I can put my beads on the wire so they don't fall off. We need something at the end. So all I did is I just bent my wire horizontally, guys, with my round nose pliers. Oh, that needs up a little bit. It's not really focusing, is it? Is that better? Oh, it's looking at the gorgeous check glass. I think that's the problem. I would be too. Can't blame the camera.
I was going to say that's my preference too.
Yeah, really? Is that better? There we go. Okay, and then you're just going to, after you bend that horizontally, you're going to go up and over. This is just a wrapped loop. You could also do a simple loop if you prefer that. That's also very easy to do. And then I just grab that with my pliers, and then I'm just going to take that wire and wrap it around 3 times because that's what I like the look of. Okay. Let's see, we have our woo! three wraps there, guys. So I'm just going to turn that over and trim off that wire. And I'm going to push down that wire just so we can tuck that in so it doesn't stab anybody. So now we can start putting our beads on. So just pick from this gorgeous check mix, anything that tickles your fancy. But I was eyeing, of course, some of the fire polish earlier. And you know what I went to grab was some spacers. Do you want to tell everybody what you're doing there? Amber, why grab some spacers?
Sure. I'm still coloring. I'm on my button now. I took my time with the rainbow so that I wouldn't go out of the lines. So I'm coloring my button now. And then I can show you the bracelet that I'm going to demonstrate tonight. So just a simple loom bracelet with our button on there. And I chose to keep the hat charm plain except for the band. It's hard to see, but I did paint the middle gold with a paint marker.
Okay.
So.
All right, now I'm back. So the reason I like to use spacers, guys, is it really, or any kind of metal, makes your beads pop even more so. So I'm just going to grab some simple daisy spacers just to give it a little bit of a pop.
Oh, I did that with my earrings too.
Did you? Just some
Yeah.
daisy spacers? That's all you need, you know? So I just put on this gorgeous piece of fire polish, and I'm going to do a spacer. And then let's see what else. Maybe one of these teardrop beads. I love those. They are beautiful. So that's what we have so far for the top piece. And then all I'm going to do then is just make another wrap loop on the top. Okay. And then sideways, up and over.
Look at that yummy goodness.
That, oh, I know. My gosh. So beautiful. So what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm going to wrap down with 3 wraps. And then what I'm going to do, just to give it a little bit of interest, I'm just going to take that wire and I'm going to wrap it in between the beads where the spacer is there. Okay. And then just keep wrapping it down and then underneath. Okay. So that gives us a little bit of interest to our earring top. Just kind of gives it a little bit of oomph, you know. You can see that. It kind of just takes it up a notch. So then we're just going to trim that off and tuck that in. And then I'm going to make my second piece that's going to have one of my charms on it, which I love. And I like to do my earrings in 2 pieces, guys, because I like 2 or 3, because I like the way that it moves when you use multiple pieces versus just sticking that on with the charm. The charm would move, that would be cute, but if you have the 2 beaded pieces that move around, that really gets the attention for the earrings. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to do part of a wrap loop. And then don't forget, because I'm famous for this, guys, don't forget to open your loop and hook in the top piece before you close up your wrap loop, or you'll have to cut it off and start over because it's not hooked in. So we're doing the same thing here, guys, just 3 times around. And then trim and tuck, trim and tuck. Always tuck your wires in. Okay. So now I'm going to put, I think probably, let's see. There's so many gorgeous ones to choose from, but I think I'm going to put on this rectangle for the bottom. And just keeping it simple. We did our metal on the top there. Okay.
Ooh, so pretty.
Isn't it? I mean, you can't go wrong with this check glass. Any of the check glass, oh my gosh, guys, that Jules has, forget it. It's all gorgeous. So what I'm going to do here is do another wrap loop, and I'm going to do the same thing as I come around here. I'm going to stop when I get to the part where I cross over so I can link in my beer. Hold my beer. You want to make sure that's opened up enough so it can slide on there easily. Okay. And see, we have our charm on now. Our really cool earrings.
Very cool. Hey, Sharon, I see your message and I can manually enter you in, and Jules is giving you us an ovation over there.
Who? I'm getting an ovation.
Yeah, I'll add her in so everybody can see. There she is.
Oh, thank you. You likey, huh? Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing, guys. I'm going to wrap some of that wire around that bottom bead as well. Hey, why not? More is more, right? That's my theory.
Gorgeous.
So thank you. I'm just, wire sings my soul. Makes my soul sing.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
So I'm just wrapping that around that bead, and that's going to give us that metal on that bottom piece that maybe we don't have a daisy spacer in there, but we have still that metal that's making the gorgeous check glass pop. Okay. And then our little beer. Can you stand it?
So stinking cute.
Aren't they? Love them. So all you would do then, guys, is just tuck that wire in and add in your wire. And you have an absolutely adorable earring. So I'm going to work on making my other one, and maybe Amber can show us her earring that she is going to make for us tonight. Her super cute rainbow pot of gold.
Okay, I am trying to figure out. It is working. But at Sharon, it won't let me add you without your email address. So maybe you can message that to Joan and she can get that to me and I'll make sure you're added.
And those are what we call beer rings. Now, I do have to tell you, if you buy 2 sets of charms, guys, you can just have 2 beers. So if you need more than 1 beer, then you'd have to get a second set. But you can certainly do the shamrock and the beer, or however you like.
So. I love the bearings too. We laughed so hard when we saw that charm.
Yeah.
Yes. Tricia's wonderful husband made up that name for us. So yes, Debbie, I do love Tricia's pink sparkly nails. It's very her.
It's not very Irish though. I'm sorry.
It's all good, honey. It's you. So so far I've colored, and we're just going to do a very simple earring. I added a jump ring onto the charm. So when I'm done pulling everything onto, I'm doing all out simple here. I have an eye pin. Okay. So you'll need an eye pin instead of a head pin so you can hook the charm on. And then I started out with just a little tiny gold ball to put on the bottom. And then I took right from the kit. So I took the seed beads and the fire polish. So I just put on one seed bead, one of this beautiful, yummy green goodness, another seed bead, and then I just took my gold. Well, I guess I didn't use the daisies, but they're like the daisies. They're just a spacer.
Sure.
Just a simple spacer in between. And then just repeated the pattern on top of that.
I love it.
And then one more green seed bead. And I know Trish really loves her tools, but I also really love tools too. This is one of my favorites. Cuts down on making the loops.
Yep, the one-step looper. Believe me, I use that too.
And it just makes my loop. And then I can attach my ear wire. And then I just close up my loop. I used the 1.5, and they just recently came out with a 2.5.
Yeah, that one's nice. Mm-hmm.
So just closing this up. It's always when you're on air that things don't go as well.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Right? That's the best time, right?
Exactly. And as I said, I left the jump ring open. So just the only thing you really have to worry about is making sure you put the ear wires on the same way that the charm is.
Yes, that's for sure. You want to put all that work into coloring and then not even see it.
Exactly.
For sure.
And I'm all rainbow-fied with my fingers here tonight.
Adorable. Love it.
Of course, it's spinning around on me. There we go. And then just close up. Make sure you feel that click. And there you go.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, Amber. So cute.
So, yeah. Are you finishing up your second one there?
I am working on my second one. I'm working on the bottom piece here, and I'm going to hook in my shamrock. Let me move that down a little bit, guys, so you can see. I'm just going to do that final bottom piece, and I'm doing my wrap loops again here. And I'm going to hook it in before I close it. I don't know if you guys have had that kind of trouble where you just forget to open your wrap loop and put your next piece in
all
before you
the
close
time.
It. Yeah. It is frustrating to say the least.
Right.
Have to remind myself when I'm doing it. Okay. And then we're just going to add on our rectangle bead.
Thank you, Tammy. Oh, thank you, Sandy. You like my rings? So this one is the one we just finished last week, and that new video is up. And then, gosh, we've done this type of ring many times.
Adorable.
Yeah. So in all kinds of different colors. Jules likes her go big or go home rings.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Figured I'd go with the green one today.
One of the many reasons we love Jules.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm just going to get my shamrock put on here. As you can see. And then again, I'm just going to wrap that around and take it up and over that check glass piece. Like so. And sometimes I like to just use my fingers when I'm doing it. It just makes it a little easier. And just wrap that around a few times. And I'm one that I don't mind messy loops. I kind of like the organicness of it, I guess. But I'm going to show you something here that's going to give you an idea. So when you make your earrings And I want those wires to be showing on the front because I like the way they look. And you can see on the bottom, the way that this is going to hang. Okay, that's the front. On the bottom, that one's not really showing that well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to twist my loop until I can get that piece to the front the way I wanted it, and that are shamrocks in the front. I'm just going to move this down a little bit. And once you wrap it, you can move it slightly, like with your fingernails if you need to, if you want it to be showing more or something like that. I mean, you're not going to be able to crazy move it because it's wrapped around your bead, but so.
Trish, you had a question from,
sure.
I think it was Bonnie asked a while ago what the long nose tool is called.
These are, yes. I see that Sharon answered her. This is a tweezer plier, as Sharon said there. They're from Xuron, and I don't know what I did without them prior to having them.
That's the one you just got me, right?
Yep. They're wonderful for wire work. And I figured Amber, sometimes her hands hurt, so I thought these might help her when she does work with wire, make it a little easier for her. So yeah, so that's a little infomercial for Xuron, I guess. So I am now got my earrings all done there, guys. I'll put my hooks on after, but that gives you an idea. And I'm going to move on here. If Amber's, are you finished over there, Amber?
I am. I was just entering in Sharon's email for her.
Okay, sure. Take your time. And then we'll get a look at your earrings when you're done there.
Okay.
But yeah, guys, I mean, these are super cool. These charms. I'm going to just show you again. And the fire polish that comes with the kit. And it's going to vary, but there's some really gorgeous dark fire polish in the photo that's there. But I really like these two. These are the green and white. Mm-hmm. Really, really pretty. And you get some really pretty hemp that comes with it. And that's a bracelet kit. Well, basically any kind of kit, really. If you get your charms, you can make earrings. You can make a bracelet. There's plenty of beads to do whatever. And then these gorgeous seed beads, as you can see, I broke into mine big time. But this is transparent rainbow grass green. And you can see, guys, look, I don't know if you can see the AB on it, but come on. That is just like... so gorgeous. AB anything.
Yes. So here are my earrings, folks.
Oh, so cute, Amber. I love them. That rainbow is you, girl.
So, and Sharon, I added your email in there for the giveaway.
Awesome. Okay, let me get my stuff moved out of the way here, guys. And I'm going to show you a quick little project with the seed beads and some fire polish here. This is the bracelet that I've come up with. And it's just 3 rows of seed beads and a row of seed bead, fire polish seed bead. And then I did actually one of the pieces of check glass on my bracelet, but you could absolutely do, you know, one of your charms in the middle, on the side, anything like that. And Amber has one there that she's done.
Yes. So mine's a little more simple. I just went with the check glass and then 2 seed beads across and then 4 in between each one. Okay. And I showed earlier the hat charm.
Cute.
But I might do a different charm on this one. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Hey, live it up, right? I love the check glass too,
it's
but
so pretty.
Anyway, but I have mine on the original, and you see that Amber has hers on the Wisdom Warrior. So you can use either one of those looms. They will work just fine for this bracelet project. No problem. And I have my button on standby because I'm going to show you how to do that. But I'm just going to show you guys, I'm going to raise my camera up a little bit, and I am going to show you quickly how to warp the original, just in case we have some new folks here. So it's as simple as putting the rod in the bottom, and you're going to have, this is down here is where my belly is. Okay. So as the camera's not really showing too well, but what I do is I take the bottom of this and just push it a little bit into my stomach, and you don't want to flex it too hard because it's flexible. It's not bendable. Okay, not real bendable. So you just flex it, okay? Flex it a little bit, pop your rod in there, okay?
Sometimes it's helpful to rub the loom, make sure it's warm. Did you say that?
No, I did not. And that's a wonderful tip, just to make sure it's not real cold. If it's warm, just give it some body heat before you bend it. And that helps as well. I mean, they don't break easily, guys, but just remember that they're just flexible. Don't go crazy yanking on them because, you know, somebody might have done that before, and I'm not going to mention any names. So I'm going to turn this over here and hook on my, this is the 0.5 hemp I'm using for this one. Now, is it the 0.5 that we're getting in the kit? Julesy? I can't hear you, Jules. How you doing over there, Amber?
I'm doing good. So while you're waiting, it's very similar, but my knobs, I don't have a metal bar, but my knobs are on either end of the Wisdom Warrior. And just like Tricia's, I'm going to just tie mine off on one of the ends.
Okay.
And other than the bar and the bending of it, everything else when you warp the Wisdom Warrior is similar.
Yes.
The grooves are similar. Tying it around a knob is similar. So the big difference is the wood, obviously, and then the middle. And Jules says it's the 0.5 that's in the kit.
Okay, thanks, Jules. And that's what I'm using here. So that worked out well. So all I did here, guys, on mine is just laid it into one of the grooves. Make it so you can see it. And then I'm going to go across. And I just eyeball it to make sure it's in, you know, close vicinity of the other one. Okay. That's not like a deal breaker. Okay. And then I just flip it over and grab my knob with my hemp. And this is going to be a simple one. It's only 2 lines. So what I do, guys, and I don't know what kind of techniques you use, but when I'm going to be building a bracelet, and sometimes it's trial and error for me. I'm not as professional, I don't think, as Amber is. She can kind of eyeball it and boom, she knows how wide to make it, you know. But I kind of just kind of gauge. I'll put my bead in there and say, okay, well, I want to put 2 seed beads beside it. And I know that a seed bead, an 8/0, takes 1 space, you know. So that's just a way to kind of eyeball it. Now, this one I did, I'm going to look here, guys, because I have a short-term memory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I did 6 wide for this one here that I made. So we'll do that with this one. So there's 1, 2. My eyes cross sometimes when I'm counting, so you'll have to forgive me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
While she's counting, everybody, and pulling that up, we have so far, you guys are awesome, over 105 entries into the giveaway.
Ooh, that's great.
There was some extra bonus things. It's not 105 subscribes, but it's a combination. If they liked it, they got an extra point. You know, like
absolutely.
Other added bonuses too that weren't required. The big requirement is make sure you click on Rafflecopter and subscribe to Jules's channel. So that's the big way of being entered in the giveaway. And that gets you 5 entries. And then there was bonus ones if you like and comment, and then that kind of stuff. So anyways, so make sure the show's done in about 15 more minutes. So you have about 10 minutes to enter. So make sure you go to YouTube and fill out the Rafflecopter and subscribe to Jules's YouTube channel to see what you win.
So I just brought that across, guys, and then I tied it off on the back very simply. And I'm like, uh-oh, we have 15 minutes left. We better get moving here. So I got some of my fire polish out here, and then I'm going to get some of my gorgeous size 8 seed beads that come in the kit as well. And of course, we're going to need our needle.
And your wildfire.
And your wildfire.
While she's getting that, my bracelet is only 2 spaces wide. So,
okay.
Yeah. So while you watch me warp and her get her bead, everything set up there. And I have found with the Wisdom Warrior is that just push the hemp down into the grooves a little, and it holds pretty well. And then I find if I hold it right here, I wrap around twice on here because you don't have the bar to help hold the tension. And then you just skip the 2 grooves there, and you just make sure you hold that tension. You can push it into your belly. You can lay it sideways, come up here, and just push it down into there. That first one's a little loose. I'm going to go back because it's loose and tighten it back up. That's always the one that gets loose, is that first one. Wrap it around twice to help hold the tension, and then skip 2 grooves. So, but otherwise our projects are very similar in what we use.
Yes, they certainly are.
And I wrap around twice before I cut and tie. So, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just going to say that does speak to the versatility of the kit. You can make, different sizes, different widths. There's a lot to work with. So what I did, guys, I just tied a loose knot on the left side. I work bottom to top, as we've discussed in the past. I'm a weirdo. But and then I just threaded my needle. I squeezed the end with the pliers to flatten the wildfire down a little bit and put it through. So basically what I did is I started with two rows of seed beads at the start, because why not, right? And it's 4 wide. So like I said, it's fairly simple. You just pick up 4 seed beads. And we're just going to do like 1 run of this, and then we'll head over to taking them off the loom. So I've got my 4 on there, and I always drop mine down to the bottom. Take my needle from left to right under the warps, and I'm just going to pull that underneath like so. Zoom in a little bit for you. And then take my needle across the top. We're coming like out and around, guys, and then we're going to go through the beads again, but on the top. And you want to make sure you're going through all your beads, and you can see if you're not seeing metal between the beads, the needle is not there. So simple, way to tell. So we're going to pull that, and we're going to do 4 more. All right. Same thing. I like to drop them down. I did just take my hand and slide them down. It's just the rhythm that I've found when I loom. And then I just run the wildfire underneath again. Push it up with my finger and up and over the top and through the beads. Okay.
Very pretty.
Thank you. And then we're just going to do the next thing is just to add your check glass in. So I'm just going seed bead, your fire polish, and then another seed bead. Okay. And pull that under. Like so. And do the same thing. Go over the top. And you know what I didn't do? Here I am. This is nice and taut already, but I left the bar in.
Oops.
But yeah, but it's taut, but if you remove your bar, you're going to get it much, much tauter. So I'm just going to take that out now if I can get it. Nope. It's going to make a fool of me on live. So we won't do that right now. It's like, no, we're not. I don't want to talk to you right now. So you forgot all about us.
Oh.
So either way, I mean, you can see how taut that is just even without removing the bar. Once you learn to warp and you just kind of get the hang of just already getting things nice and tight. And that stands, if you look at the Wisdom Warrior, you don't have the bar, and you know, Amber's able to get it nice and taut even without the bar. So just kind of gives you an idea. Like I almost did it on purpose, but I didn't. So right now I'm just going to do 3 more sets of the 4 seed beads wide, and that is a run. That's basically, and you just keep repeating and repeating and repeating, and once you get it to the length you want, you stop with your fire polish and add 2 on the end, and that's as simple as it is, guys. How about you, Amber? Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing there?
Sure. So I've got it warped, and I've got my needle and my wildfire. So needle, wildfire, all of it can be, except for the tools, you can get everything from Jewel Loom. Yeah, so it's really cool all that Jules provides in her shop there. So
yes, it is. She has some beauties and some really nice stuff.
Yeah, so I started my pattern with 2 seed beads across, which is as wide as the fire polish is. So since we only have 2 warps, there's not a lot to worry about making sure it all fits in between, which makes it a little easier. So the same thing. Start going under and then come through over the top and look for that needle, just like Trish said, to make sure, because otherwise you could drop a bead. So this pattern, it's 2 seed beads, 2 seed beads, the fire polish, and then repeat, and then end at the size that you need with the 4 seed beads. So I'll do a run as well. So I'm going to pick up, and the board that I'm using, you can get when you purchase. Now remind me, I know the large Wisdom Warrior, you can get the bead board. Does it come with the small one too?
No, it does not.
Okay, it's just the large Wisdom Warrior, but you can buy the bead board separate. You can buy it individually. So I love this bead board. So I highly recommend it. It's so pretty. It goes so nicely.
It is everything. It's beautiful. Yeah, I keep mine downstairs. That's where I do a lot of my looming. So it didn't make an appearance tonight, but I do enjoy it. That's for sure.
So I've got my 4 seed beads here. And of course, starting out, I have a lot of wildfire. There's other types of beading thread that you can use. This is just my favorite. And this is the one that Jules sells in her shop, but it's not why it's my favorite. It was my favorite before I met Jules.
And it comes in such beautiful colors, though. You know, a lot of the others, they don't have the beautiful colors that wildfire.
I love the pink and the blue they've come out with.
Yes.
I'm using green tonight. I don't know what color did you choose?
That's what I chose too. Yeah, really getting the spirit, you know.
And the green, I know it's harder to see in the demo, but it really blends in with a lot of things.
It does, yeah, not just the green. I mean, a lot of people will say how it just kind of goes into the background of a lot of the hemp colors and stuff. The green does. But this is what I have so far, guys. And that's it. That's the basic pattern. Very simple.
Yep. And then I just repeat it now. I'll do 2 seed beads. So 2 groups of seed beads and the fire polish all the way down until I get to the length that I want for my wrist or someone else's wrist. So always go under first and then pull it up in between the warps and then through the top.
Awesome.
And etc., etc.
Do you know those bracelets you're making would look so pretty stacked? Like 2 or 3 variations and stack them. That would be so gorgeous.
Yes.
Love it. Okay, so if you're finished up for now, Amber, I'm going to show how to just take it off the loom very simply and add your button. I do want to mention too, guys, I just used some seed beads and I stitched behind that So it kind of put the flower toward the front. So there's one seed bead on top of it. And then I kind of almost did a circle, you know,
with
an
awesome idea.
And it pulls up the back, and then you have your little charm there. Okay, so simply to remove, I need my cord cutters.
So all I did is I added a jump ring in on mine.
Perfect. Yep, you can just do as simple as that too. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. It looks great. It has nice movement to it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to flip my original over, and I'm going to keep my finger on the warps. So when I cut it, it doesn't all, you know, fling everywhere. But since I did this one, I took the bar out of.
There you go.
And I'm just going to trim those. And you see how I'm holding that? So it's not going to, you know, fling across the room on you or anything, which it normally wouldn't, but
you don't want to run that chance.
I can do anything. I've learned that. So no one else will end up flinging across the room, but I will. So I'm just cutting both ends here, and I'm just going to make a knot. Since this is only 2 warps, it's really easy to finish. You just make your knot at the end and get that through there. Okay, guys. And I'm just putting that down toward my beads, not too tight because it'll warp your beads up, but just enough that you can keep the shape. Because if you jam this knot down too tight, the end of your beads will get all odd looking because it's squishing them in there. I use good words, don't I? I'm so talented.
Oh, here's my original. So I will do the same thing, but mine's slightly different. I'll just put my thumb here while I cut off the ends.
And I'm just making a knot on the opposite end as well, the same way. This green is just popping, isn't it?
It is.
I can't wait to put my bracelet on. And then I'm just going to simply, guys, on one end, I'm going to put my button on that we decorated so nicely. I'm just going to run strings up both, one through one hole, one through the other. All right. And I'm going to leave myself a little bit of breathing room there, just to kind of, so it's not tight down on the knot, and it'll function better for you if you give yourself a little bit of breathing room. I think that stands for a lot of things in life. So put my knot down. I'm going to tie my first one down there and see if I still have some room in the back. And if I don't, I just kind of give it a little tug and then tie my second knot. These are super easy to finish when you just have the 2 warps. So I'm just going to trim that off. And then I'm going to make my loop on the other side. And I'm just going to do that by making a knot. And I'm just going to start it here. I'm not going to pull it too tight. I want to make sure that my button's going to fit through the buttonhole that I made. Okay.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah. So that's a pretty large button. So as I'm seeing that, you can see I left that loose. And I'm just going to kind of work it until I see that I can get the button through easily but snug, and then I can tighten down that knot. So that way then you'll be sure it's going to stay on your wrist well. Okay. And that's it, guys. I just trimmed the strings a little bit, and you've got an adorbs bracelet.
Very cute. Very cute. So I'm just taking mine. One of my ends, one thing with the Wisdom Warrior, and I didn't do this, is to make sure you leave enough on your ends, because it doesn't go behind like the original. So this is a little short, but if I have a shorter end, I always pick that end to put my button on anyways. And then, so I tied a knot, just like Trish said, make sure you don't tie it too tight so it messes with your warps and your weft, making it look funny. And then tying a knot on the top of the button. So just like Trish, except mine's a 2-layer versus, and then same thing, gotta tie a knot on this end and then make a buttonhole. So
perfect.
Yeah.
That's so adorable. I love it.
I didn't add my charm yet, but it'll look like just the one I'm wearing already. So
yes, so cute.
So yeah, so your buttonhole's a little big, but this button's adorable. So
it's well worth
it. Well worth it. So but I will finish this up and take pictures for you guys. But I'm gonna